Welcome to Maths Entry. This is 2025 May 1 HR paper. Question 1. Find the lowest common multiple LCM of 45 and 70. So when we are given just two numbers, we can straight away write them in this way. 45, 70. After that, let's start L division by prime factors. You can choose any prime factor, whatever easy for you. So I'm going to start off with this 2 because that's the simplest one. 45 cannot be divided by 2. Therefore, I'm writing it as it is. Once I divide 70 by 2, it is 35. Then I can divide both of them by 5. Therefore, I'm dividing by 5. 5 times 9, 5 times 7. Next one, I can divide it by 3. 3 times 3, 7 cannot be divided. 3, 1, 7. Next, 7. 1, 1. You got to divide until you get 1 and you have to use only prime factors. Now let's multiply out the numbers that we got. 2 into 5 into 3 squared into 7. 2 into 5, 10. 10 times 9, 90. 90 times 7, 630. So the answer get 630. Question 2. Upper bound and lower bound. The length of a ship is 142.8 meters, correct to one decimal place. This is the key point of this question, so you got to underline it. Write down the lower bound of the length of the ship. So how do we get lower bound or upper bound? So in this case, this is being correct to one decimal place. You got to underline this one, correct to what? One decimal place, and pick the place value of this one. Always remember to get the place value of whatever it is corrected to. So in this case, one decimal place, the place value of one decimal place is 0.1. If it is second decimal place, 0.01. If it is third decimal place, 0.001. And sometimes you will be given as significant figures, then you have to figure out the place value of the significant figure. So here 0.1, always we divide this one by 2. It is fixed, whatever correct to get the place value and divide by 2. Then the answer comes as 0.05. We need to get the lower bound. So the lower bound of the length of a ship, 142.8 meters. Since it is lower bound, we subtract this much, 0.05. Then answer 142.75. Next one, write down the upper bound of the length of the ship. So to get the upper bound for the original measurement, which is 142.8, I have to add this much, 0.05. Once we add it, 142.85. Question 3, fraction multiplication. So when we are given fractions, it is multiplication and the answer is also given in this case. So it is easy. If you are wrong, you can do it all over again. First step, no matter whether you have to identify, the very first thing is you have to identify when a fraction question is given, check out whether it is under multiplication or division, or the other one is addition or subtraction. So remember, if it is multiplication or division, if it is addition or subtraction, there is a common thing that you got to do. You have to convert this fraction into improper fraction. The very first step is improper fraction for both of them. Improper fraction. After that, we have to get, after that, depending on if it is multiplication or division, you need to Now, if it is division, there is an extra step other than multiplication. You got to flip the fraction. You have to get the reciprocal. You have to convert multiplication, this division into multiplication and reciprocal the second fraction. Here, if it is addition subtraction, you have to get the LCM. Don't get LCM for this. We do not get LCM for multiplication and division. No common denominator for multiplication and division. So this is multiplication straightforward. If it is division, there is an extra step. So let's convert the very first step, whatever the fraction question, the very first step is convert into improper fraction. So this is the way how we convert. We multiply these two. 4 into 2, 8. 8 plus 1, it is 9. 9 over 4. And write the multiplication as it is. 7 times 1, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 over 7. Next step is check whether you can simplify numerator and denominator. No matter they are how far they are apart. Like let's say that there is 9 and you are getting somewhere over here 9. Still you can cancel them out if you are getting multiplication in between each fractions. Once you are getting addition subtraction, don't try to cut up down. It is wrong. So now in this case, let's see. I can see that 4 times 1, 4 times 3, I can cancel them out. Then I'm getting the fraction. Here, for this cancelling out part, you are getting 1 mark. If you don't know how to cancel out, don't use the calculator straight away. You will lose 1 mark. If you don't know how to cancel out, straight away multiply the numerator. Then 9 times 12. Then you can get what the answer is, 108. And 7 times 4, it is 28. Write that fraction. Rather than cancelling out, you are getting that mark for the cancelling out mark for multiplication. Therefore, either you have to do cancelling out or multiplication the numerator. Now I cancelled out 9 times 3, which is 27 over 7. Then the answer comes as, so you need to convert this one into a mixed number. If you don't know how to convert into mixed number, think like this. How many 7s that you can pull out from 27? 7 times how much is the closest? Use the calculator. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, likewise check. So 7 times 3, I know that it is 21. So once I pull out 21 from this 27, 6 is remaining. So 6, the denominator to be this. Or you have to verify like this. Let's say that you don't know, still you don't know how to convert this one into a mixed number. We call this one mixed number. Go to this answer and check out whether once you convert this one into a mixed number, convert this one into an improper fraction, check whether you are getting this one. Then you are done. So that's how we do this one. For that, you are getting 3 marks. 3, 6 over 7. Question 4, probability. Here is a biased 5-sided spinner. This spinner is biased, therefore the probability of blue, green, purple, red, yellow are not same. They are different. Biased means it is favorable to one's colors, particular colors. If it is unbiased, so the probability of yellow would be 1 over 5, blue is 1 over 5, it is same probability. In this case, this is a biased spinner. When the spinner is spun, it can land on blue or on green or on purple or on red or on yellow. The table gives information about the probability of the spinner landing on each color. So there is this row represents color, this row represents the probabilities. Sophie spins the spinner once. Work out the probability that the spinner lands on blue or on green or on purple. When in probability you see this term or, it is so important. Or means addition. You have to add the probabilities together. Whenever we see or, it means add. Or means or represent addition and represent multiplication. So remember these two rules, or and and. In this case, or. So let's see how to get it. Work out the probability that spinner lands on blue or green. Blue or green or purple. Blue, the probability of blue is 0.12. The probability of green is 0.20. The probability of purple is 0.38. Now, to get the total probability, we need to add them together. Let's add them and check what we are getting. 0.12 plus 0.20 plus 0.38 equals 7 over 10. So we are getting 7 over 10, which becomes as 0.7. 7 over 10 means 0.7. We are done with the first part A. Now let's move on to the part B. Max spins the spinner 350 times. So this one, Sophie, she spun the spinner only once. This one, Max, is gonna spin it 350 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times the spinner lands on red. So first go to the column where red represent, it is 4x. The probability is 4x. For one time 4x, then Max gonna spin it 350 times. For 1 times 4x, then we gotta get 350 times. So if I know the value of x, I can get the probability for 350 times. When a probability table is given in this way, if you know that, if you don't know any probability, if there is an unknown letter, remember this, the total probability for any probabilities add up to 1. Therefore, remember when there is a table, all of these probabilities, they add up to 1. Probability should lie between 0 and 1. Always it can be a decimal. If it is 1, the event will certainly happen. If it is 0, the event will not happen. Then work out now let's get what x is. For getting x, I'm writing the probability. I'm adding up all 0.12, 0.20, 0.38 plus 4x plus x equals 1. So we got the answer for this part. We got it as 0.7. 0.7 plus 4x plus x, 5x equals 1. Then we have to solve this equation. 5x equals 1 minus 0.7, which becomes 0.3. So 5x equals 3, x equals 0.3 divided by 5. X equals 0.3 divided by 5, which becomes as 0.06. Then we have what x is, 0.06. X equals 0.06. Now we are not done yet. We've been asked to get when max spins 350 times, we need to get the probability. So let's get it. Well, let's write it like this. For one spin, the probability of red is 4x. 4x means 4 into x, which becomes as 0.06, which becomes as 4 times 0.06 becomes 0.24. So this is for one time. Then Max gonna spin 350 times. For 350 times, how many spins? Let's get it as red. So it would be 350 multiplied by 0.24. The answer would be 84. Question 5 says, this is universal set, which means that rectangle, the everything, all the sets represented by this universal set. So universal set is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Set A equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Set B 3, 6, 9, 12. Set C 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. List the members of the set A union B. So when we are asked to list out a particular set, you should understand what the set is. So this is A union B. Remember, U stand for union. Since this is U, can you see the shape U? Okay, this is U, union U. Then I can stuff everything into this one, right? I can pick up anything and put it into this one. Nothing will happen. Therefore, union means collecting all of both the sets, but you can't repeat anything. So collect everything from A and B without repeating. You can list one element once only, not twice. So let's collect all the elements in A and B. A 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is 3, 6, 9, 12. So I'm listing out 2, 3, it is better to write them in order. 2, 3, 4, 6. Can you see 6 in both the cases? But I'm listing it once. 6. Then 8, 9. 8, 9. 10, 12. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12. Next one, this one. The meaning of this one, this is the way how we read this. It is B complement. When you are asked to get complement, means not B. Not B. The meaning of this one is not B. You have to go to the universal set. Other than B, you have to collect everything. Got it? From the universal set. So cut out whatever in B in the universal set. Pick the rest as B complement. So I gotta exclude this 3, 6, 9, 12. Rather than that, I gotta pick everything in the universal set, which becomes 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. We are done. After that, another set. So there is another universal set 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way 12. No, the same one. A 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. B this one. C this one. Write a symbol from the box on each dotted line to make each of the following a true statement. So before that, you should know the meaning of this one. I explained what this is. The meaning of this one is universal set. The meaning of this one is intersecting part. Intersecting part, don't get confused with this one and this one. This is union. You can collect everything. This is intersect. Intersect means you can stuff lot here, right? You can just keep few items on this one because all will fall down. Therefore, this one is common part. This one stays, intersecting part means common part. And the other one, this one is an empty set. Empty set, this one, and you can write it in this way as well. Both means empty set. This one is an element or a member. So if I go to this one now, 2 is in set A. Therefore, I can write 2 is an element or a member of set A. And this one, not an element or not a member. So this is the way how we write it. Cut it off. Right, write a symbol. A intersects C, which means common thing. You have to find a common element in A and C. So go to A, go to C, figure out something common between them. 2 north, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We don't have anything. Therefore, from here, I can pick A intersect C is an empty set. So it is an empty set. Now 13. Figure out where 13 lies. 13. Can you see 13? Then I can write 13 is here. We don't have 13 in the universal set. It stops at 12. Therefore, I can write 13 is not an element of the universal set. Question 6, inequalities. Write down the inequality shown on the number line. So if we come over here, you have to figure out what the boundary is. In this case, it is -2 and 1. So I'm done with the boundaries, then it is easy. So once we get the boundaries, here you have to think like this. Check out after that. Once you get the boundaries, check out it like this. You are here. Which means if you are representing this one, x is now here. When x moves being at this position to this side, what will happen to the x values? The values are getting increased. If the x being at this position, when the x moves along this way, the values are getting increased. Therefore, I'm writing statement for this particular position, x is greater than -2. Okay. After that, check out whether the circle is shaded or it is not shaded. In this case, it is open. It is not a solid one. So it is unshaded one. Therefore, we use only little ink for this one. We don't have to shade. Then we do not use extra ink to write here equal sign. If it is shaded, you have to use extra ink, then you have to write equal sign. If you don't shade it, we just use a little ink, therefore we don't want to write the equal sign. Is it clear? Normally it is not shaded, not equal. Now I'm done with this boundary point. Now I'm coming to this boundary point. Being at this position to represent this inequality, which means to represent this line, this boundary, I have to move to this side. Then being on this position, when moving to this side, what's happening to this x value? Now being at 1, I'm moving to 0 and then to -1, then -2. All the values are getting decreased. Therefore, I'm writing being at this position, which is 1, x is getting decreased. Since this is a solid circle, it is shaded one, I got to use extra ink to represent this inequality. Therefore, I'm writing equal sign. Normally, when it is shaded, equals, unshaded, not equals. Right. After that, part B, solve the inequality. Solve the inequality 7a minus 5. 3a plus 20a greater than or equal 7a minus 5. Show clear algebraic work. Let's try to solve this one as same as the way how we solve a simple inequality. So start off by writing the inequality 7a minus 5 3a plus 28. 7a minus 5 smaller than or equals 3a plus 28. Right, now let's collect all the a's to one side. That's what we do when solving out an equation as well. So let's collect. So I'm bringing this 3a to this side. Same rule will be applied. So this is positive. When it crosses this inequality sign, you have to make it negative. So 7a minus 3a smaller than or equals 28. Now I'm sending this 5 to this side. Then when it comes to this side, it becomes positive 5. Right. 7a minus 3a, 4a, smaller than or equals 28 plus 5. 28 plus 5, it is 33. Then I have to divide this one by 4, 4. Now this is easy. Assume that you have to divide. You assume that you are getting here minus 4a. Then you have to divide by minus 4. When you are dividing an inequality by a negative number, you have to flip the sign. If it was like this, minus 4a smaller than or equals 33, then I have to divide by minus 4. Remember, when we are dividing an inequality by a negative sign, you have to flip the sign. So I have to flip it in this way. Clear? So in this case, it is easy, it is positive. Therefore, I don't have to worry about that flipping the sign. So 4, 4 cancel out. Then A is smaller than or equals 33 over 4. Question 7, compound measurements. Change 50x meters per second to speed in kilometers per hour. Now in this case, I got to change this one. This is meters per second. I need to change it into kilometers per hour. This is kind of weird question because there are no exact values. There is x also got involved. How do we convert into kilometers per hour? You may be thinking like that. So when you're doing this question, just focus on this one. This is the important part of this one. You should know how to convert this into a fraction. So in mathematics, when you get per means division. So let's write this one 50x. Now I'm having here meters per means division, meters per second. Right. Now don't think about this one. Let it be like that. Think about this one and this one. Just assume that there is 1, 1. Then how do I convert meters into kilometers? So when I'm converting 1 meter into kilometer, I got to divide it by 1000. So you should be good at conversion of units. And seconds. So there is 1 second. I need to divide this one by 3600. Because you have to remember this one. Millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. So when you are coming from this one to this one, you have to divide by 10. From this one to this one, centimeters to meters, divide by 100. Meters to kilometers, divide by 1000. If you are coming other way around, kilometers to meters, then multiply by 1000. Meters to centimeters, multiply by 100. Centimeters to millimeters, multiply by 10. Same way, when you are using the hours, minutes, and seconds, so let's get seconds, minutes, hours. If you are coming this one to this one, seconds to minutes, you have to divide by 60. If you are going minutes to hours, divide by 60 again. If you are going straight away seconds to hours, divide by 3600. That's what I got. So we are coming this way. Hours to minutes, multiply by 60. Minutes to seconds, multiply by 60. If you are coming straight away, hours to seconds, multiply by 3600. It is okay to come step by step as well. If someone feels that I'm converting first hours to minutes, then I got to divide by 60. Then I have to come minutes to seconds. Again, I'm dividing by 60. That's fine. Come that way. But it is easy if you remember in this way. Whenever you have to deal with seconds, hours, it means 3600. Now let's do this one. How to do this one again? So 50x is here. I'm keeping it aside still. And there is hidden multiplication. So 1 over 1000 divide this line. Or you can straight away use the calculator. We'll use the calculator, that's easy rather than doing manually. So I'm explaining how to do using the calculator. So getting this one, 1 divide by 1000. Next one, 1 divide by 3600. What do we get? 18 over 50. So here I'm getting 18 over 5. Sorry, 18 over 5. Then I know that this is multiply 50. So it is 180. Then answer becomes as 180x. If you want, I can do this one manually as well. If you want me to do it manually, just comment here. Question 8, indices. When multiplying the same bases, we add the powers. That's the multiplication rule of indices. So if I write this one, a to the power of 6, the 6 is called the index or the power. Index or power. And a, this is base. Okay, so the plural term of index is indices. That's why we call this lesson indices. When you are having same bases, we can add the powers. Then I can write here a to the power of 6 plus 10. The answer becomes as a to the power of 16. When dividing the bases, we have same bases, we have to subtract the powers. So 30 minus 12, which becomes c to the power of 18. 30 minus 12 is 18. When we are dealing with factorizing of quadratic, you can do it manually or you can do it using the calculator. Let's use the calculator. So here, this is the format of the quadratic one. You should list out what A, B, C is. So always quadratic expression can be written in this format, ax squared plus bx plus c. You have to check whether it's been arranged according to this format. Yes, squared thing is first, next the x, then c. Afterwards, check out the coefficients of these two terms, which is the a equals the coefficient of x squared. In this case, coefficient of y squared. So the number that is in front of y squared here is invisible. There is 1. So we gotta get it 1. B, remember when getting them, you have to pick the sign as well, minus 10. Because it is the coefficient in front of x. C is just the number or the constant. In this case, it is 21, it is plus. Right. You don't want to write this one in your exam paper. You don't want to write this one also in your exam paper. So let's get the calculator and plug in the values. You have to go to mode 5-3 format. Mode 5-3 format in your calculator. Let's plug in the values. So 1 equals minus 10 equals 21 equals 2 times equals final one. So calculator is giving, it doesn't know that whether this is in terms of y, in terms of z, in terms of c, anything. It doesn't know. It is formatted only for x's. So you should know that in terms of x, you have to produce your answer with y. So let's write the first answer. These are the answers that the calculator gives. So write them. Y equals 7 and the other one is y equals 3. So I'm writing them here. Y equals 7, y equals 3. All these things are not necessary for this question. So from here onwards, what I'm writing are the things that you got to write for the paper. When the calculator gives it as y equals 7, so remember y, you have to reverse this sign. It is plus 7, you have to write minus 7. And next one, y minus 3. So you are getting full marks if you write this one. Let's focus on this one. Hence, it means you need to use this answer. Hence, solve the equation of this one. This is again quadratic. Can you see? Same one. That's why you've been given hence. This is as same as this one. Same expression converted into an equation. So instead of this one, I can write them as factors. Y minus 7, y minus 3 equals 0. After that, just write the calculated answer. Y equals 7, y equals 3. We can do this manually if you want me to do it as a lesson manual, how to do the factorization manually. Just make a comment there, then I will do it. Question 9, trigonometry, basic trigonometric ratios. So in this question, the diagram shows triangle PQR. This is PQR. Work out the length of QR. Give your answer to the third significant figure. We've been given that this side PQ equals 6.5 centimeters and this angle is given. How do we do this question? So this is, as soon as you see this 90-degree triangle, you should know that this is under trigonometry, might be trigonometry, right? Whenever you have 90-degree triangle, try to apply these 4 stuff. The first basic stuff is saw, curve, toa. This is the basic one. The other one is hypotenuse squared equals the square root of other 2 sides. This is Pythagorean theorem. So these 4 stuff is these 4 stuffs are applicable for the 90-degree triangle. Right, in this case, how do we figure out whether we have to go for the Pythagorean theorem or SOHCAHTOA? When there is an angle involvement, remember an angle involvement, you can go for this one. Angle involvement, you have to avoid, you have to go away from the Pythagorean theorem. You have to come for SOHCAHTOA. Let's see what this is now. We have to get QR. QR. So I'm labeling QR as this one. This is QR. First, when you have to deal with 90-degree triangle and you're going to apply SOHCAHTOA, very first thing is identify what the hypotenuse is. So to get hypotenuse, you have to figure out the length which is in front of 90-degree angle. In this case, this is the side which is in front of 90 degree or the opposite of 90 degree. Or you can get it in this way, longest side. Longest side is the hypotenuse. Let's label it as H. Right, I'm done with labeling the hypotenuse. After that, we are done with 90 degree. Now come to the given angle. Considering the given angle, you get a labeled other 2 sides. Since this is opposite to this angle, can you see it is straight away opposite to this angle? Then we call it opposite. So label it as O. This side, QR. QR is attached to this angle. Can you see it is touching this 24? This one is, it doesn't touch. This one is the touching one. Therefore, this QR, we can label it as adjacent. Then I'm labeling it as A. This is the attached one. This is the opposite one. Right now I'm done with labeling. Then I can get what QR is. So I have to include into my ratio this one. Put a tick there. And I have to include another known length. So I have this one. Then O and A. O and A. Now you have to come over here and figure out in which ratio contains O and A. This one, it doesn't contain O and A. This one doesn't contain O and A. This is the one, 12. So let's start off with 12 then. So I have to use this one. No need to write in your paper, 12. Right, after that, T stands for tan. O stands for opposite. A stands for adjacent. It is always like this. The first one angle, first letter represent either sine, cos or tan. Second letter is the numerator. Third letter comes to the denominator. So opposite. First write tan angle 24 equals opposite. How much is opposite? 6.5. 6.5 over QR. That is adjacent, which is QR. Now I need to get what QR is. Then I have to subject what QR is. So straight away, some students, they tend to multiply these two and get what QR is. Don't do it in this way. So you have to cross multiply always. Cross multiply. Cross. You have to do it only cross way. If it is difficult for you to remember how to cross multiply, just switch their places. Send QR here and send tan 24 here. Then okay. But don't multiply straight away these two. It is wrong. So QR equals, if you are doing it perfectly, it is in this way, tan 24. Or you can simply switch these two. 6.5. So to get QR, I got to divide both sides by tan 24. Simply tan 24 to be sent to this side. It is connected with multiplication. When it goes to this side, it becomes division. So I'm writing here tan 24. If I'm dividing this side to make it balance, I got to divide this side as well, tan 24. Then can you see tan 24 cancel out? Then I'm getting what QR is. So QR equals, use the calculator and plug in the values. So 6.5 over 6.5 divided by tan 24 equals 14.599. 14.599. Now we've been asked to leave our answer to the third significant figure. This is the third significant figure. Then you got to look at the fourth significant figure. Since it is greater than 9, I have to add 1 to this side. Then it is 14.6 centimeters. Question 10, mensuration. The diagram shows two water containers. So we have two water containers here. One is a cuboid and one is a cylinder. It is obvious. This is a cylinder, this is a cuboid. The cuboid measures 35 centimeters by 28 centimeters by 20 centimeters. The cuboid measures like this. The surface of the water in the cuboid is 9 centimeter above the base of the cuboid. Basically, the height of the water is 9 centimeter in the cuboid. The cylinder has a radius of 10 centimeter and height of 33 centimeter. The cylinder is completely full of water. It is going to pour all the water from the cylinder into the cuboid. She has gone mad, really. Show that the cuboid will not be completely full of water. So to prove that, once she pours this water into the cuboid, that we have to show that once that the cuboid will not be completely full of water once she pours this water. So how do you show that? If I can get the volume of the water, so let's get volume of water in the cylinder, volume of the water in the cuboid. If I add that one, I'm getting the total volume of the water. So if the total volume of the water, it means in the cylinder as well as in the cuboid, is less than the volume of this full cuboid, we can say that the cuboid will not be completely full of water. Water won't overflow. So our goal has to be get the total volume of the cuboid, get the volume of the water in the cuboid, get the volume of the cylinder. If you don't understand a bit of this question, try to apply formula and get the volume because this is related to volume. Okay? Right. Let's try to get the volume of the cuboid. So I'm going to get the volume of the cuboid first. Let's write volume of the cuboid equals, so length into breadth into height. Length into breadth into height, because this is a cuboid. So how much is the length? It is 35, breadth 28, the height 20. So when we multiply these three measurements together, I'm getting 35 into 28 into 20 equals 19,600. Let's say that you simply got this without understanding anything of this question. You got 1 mark. You secured 1. This is cubic centimeters. Right. Now let's get the volume of the water in the cuboid. Volume of the water in the cuboid. So I know that the shape of the water here, what is this shape? The shaded region. This one is also a cuboid, right? If I get this one, it is also a cuboid. The water has taken the shape of a cuboid. It is smaller than the full cuboid. So since it is also a cuboid, the water has taken the shape of a cuboid. Let's get the volume of this cuboid. So again, length into breadth into height. So length is again 35, breadth becomes 28, height is different. How much is the height of the water? It is 9. And let's get the answer for this one using the calculator again. So it is 35 into 28 into 9. 8,820. 8,820 cubic centimeter. Right, now let's get the volume of the cylinder. Volume of the cylinder. Volume of the cylinder. I know that it is pi r squared h. You are given this one in the formula sheet, so you can straight away use it. So I'm using pi. R is, how much is the R of the cylinder? Has the radius of 10 squared, and the height is 33 centimeters. So once we plug in the values into the calculator, we are getting it. Pi shift pi into 10 squared into 33. So the answer comes as 3,300 pi. When I convert it into a decimal, it is 10,367.25 cubic centimeter. Don't write in this space in the paper. Right. Now we have the volume of the, we can get the total volume. Let's get the total volume. So I know that to get the total volume, I have to add the volume in the water in the volume of the water in the cuboid, which is 8,820, 8,820 plus the cylinder water, which is 10,367.25. Let's add these two. 8,820, 8,820 plus 10,367.25. 25 equals, I'm getting 19,187.25. 19,000 19,187 187.25. Right, now let's analyze the two volumes. So I have this total water, this much, and the volume of the cuboid 9,000 19,600. So we have to write that since 19,187.25 is less than 19,600, we have to write that the cuboid will not be completely full of water. The cuboid will not be completely full of water. Question 11. So invests some money for 2 years. He invests 2,500 with bank A and 3,000 with bank B. So bank A offers in this way, invests $2,500, then amount of money invested to total amount of interest after 2 years equal to 20 is to 3. Bank B invests $3,000, 4% per year compound interest for 2 years. So receives more interest from bank A than from bank B. So from this one he receives more interest. How much more? We got to get how much more. So how do you do this one? Then you need to know the interest that bank A offers. You need to get the interest that bank B offers. Then you have to subtract them because we need to get, so receives more interest from bank A than bank B. How much more? Think like that. You have to think backward. If I want to get the difference of interest, I need to have the interest of this bank A, interest of bank B, then I have to subtract the two interests. So how do we get the interest from bank A? How do we get it? To get the interest from bank A, you've been given a ratio here. So let's start off with the ratio. This is ratio part for bank A. So we've been given here 20 to 3. What's the meaning of this one? This is amount of money invested. So this is invested amount. 3 represents total amount of interest for 2 years. So this is interest. So the meaning of this one is when there are 20 parts of investment, out of that 20 parts, 3 parts are for the interest. So 20 parts, when 20 parts go for the investment, 3 parts are for the interest. That's the meaning. Then 20 parts, we know that the actual amount for the 20 parts is 2,500, right? Then I can write that 20 parts, I'm writing like this, 20 parts. 20 parts equals 2,500. Then I'm getting 1 part. 1 part equals 2,500 divided by 20. How much is it? It is 125. Then I want to get 3 parts because interest represent here 3 parts. So 3 parts equals 125 multiplied by 3. Then we are getting it 375. So we are getting $375. This is the interest of Bank A. $375. Right, now we are done with Bank A. Now let's see how to get Bank B. Bank B, it is compound interest. We know that compound interest, the total investment. So when we use the compound interest formula, it is for the total investment. Total investment equals the initial amount times 1 plus or minus r over 100 all over raised to the power of n. N stands for number of years. This is number of years. This is the percentage. This is the initial amount. So initial amount with the bank B is 3,000. 3,000 1 plus, because this is an investment getting extra amount as the interest. So it is 4%, 4 over 100. The number of years, 2 years. Let's get the calculator and get the value. 3,000 1 plus 4 over 100, close the bracket, raised to the power of 2 equals 3,244, 3,244.8. This is total investment. Therefore, the interest amount of bank B equals 3,244.8 minus 3,000, which becomes as 244.8. Then the difference of B and A becomes as, so here 375 minus 244.8. How much is it? 375 minus 244.8 equals 130.2. 130.2. So this is the answer. 130.2. Question 12, cumulative frequency. The table gives information about the age of 80 people in a cinema. So this is total frequency is given as 80 people. There are 12 people under the age group, in between the age group of 10 to 20, 15 people 20 to 30, 20 people 30 to 40. Likewise, there are 80 people. So when the frequency table is given, we should know how to get the cumulative frequency, which is known as running total as well. How do we get the cumulative frequency when the frequency is given? Always cumulative frequency equal equals to frequency plus previous total. So it is something like this. Now, if I come to this one 12, what is the previous frequency of this one? There is no previous one. Therefore, the cumulative frequency comes as 0 plus 12, which is 12. Then I know that for the first group, it is 12. Next one, The previous total is 12. Therefore, 12 plus 15. 12 plus 15, 27. Therefore, the answer for the second group is 27. Next one, 20, 27 plus 20, which becomes as 47. Next one, 47 plus 18, which becomes as 65. 65 plus 9, which becomes as 74. Last one, 74 plus 6, which becomes as 80. Now, if you've done this one properly, your final answer has to be the total frequency. Yes, we got the total frequency. Therefore, we are okay. Then let's fill in the here. Let's write down this cumulative frequencies here, what we've got there. So, for next one is 47. Next one is 65. Next one, 74. Next one, 80. Right. So let's move on to part B. For part B, we need this cumulative frequency table. Let's take this one there. B says that on the grid below, draw a cumulative frequency graph for your table. Now I brought my table over here. This is 10 to 20. It is 12. So let's get it in this way. 10 to 30. So remember when getting the cumulative frequency, we have to maintain only the upper bounds. We do not care about the lower bound. We consider only the upper bound. Therefore, next one is, now this is 20, 12. Next one is 30, 27. So 30, 25, 26, 27 here. Next one is 40, 47, 40, 47 here. Next one is 50, 65, 50, 65 here. Next one is 60, 74. So 60, 74 here. Last one, 70, 80. So it comes all the way here. So we are done with labeling. Then we have to draw this one. We have to join the curves. Let's join the curves. Remember, this is a curve, not a line. So you need to remember, for the cumulative frequency, whenever you need to draw a graph, it is the type of graph that looks like a snake. So it is a curve. Remember it. Right. It is use your graph to find the estimate for the percentage of 80 people who are more than 46 years of age. So you have to come to 46, where 46 years of age lie. 45, 46 is here. I have to draw a line all the way from 46 years until I get the curve. Coming all the way here. Then to this side. Right. Now you have to get the reading. What's the reading? The reading here is 58. So I'm getting here 58. After that, how do we write it? Use your graph to find an estimate for the percentage of 80 people who are more than 46 of years. So more than 46 represent this one. Then when getting more than 46, the percentage, to get the frequency for the more than percentage, you have to get this amount, which means 80 minus 58. 80 minus 58. Originally we had 80 into 100. Then the answer comes as 80 minus 58 over 80 into 100, which is 27.5. 27.5. So it is 27.5. So in the marking scheme, any answer between 26 to 29 is accepted. Question 13. Here are the numbers of eggs laid by some hens on each of 11 days in June. 11 days in June. Here 9 eggs, 10 eggs, 12 eggs. Likewise, there are 11 days. That's been recorded. Work out the interquartile range of the numbers of eggs. So, how do we get the interquartile range? When you are asked to get the interquartile range, I know that IQR is the term for interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. How do I get Q3? Q3 equals 3n over 4. 3 times n means number of numbers. There are 11 numbers, which means 11 days over 4. Before doing anything else, you have to check whether these numbers are arranged according to the ascending order. Yes, they have been arranged. Therefore, I can straight away use the figures. So 3 over 4 into 11, which means 33 over 4. 33 divided by 4, which becomes 8.25. So this is 8 Now I need to get the 8.25th reading. Whenever we are getting a decimal answer, you have to round up the number. So it is 8.25. I have to go to the 9th reading. Not to round off, you have to round up. Always, if it is a decimal one, go to the next reading. That's fixed. So, 9th answer, what is the 9th reading? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is your 9th reading, which becomes 20. Then Q3 equals 20. Let's get Q1. Q1 equals n over 4, which becomes 11 over 4. So 11 divided by 4 becomes 2.75. Then I have to go to the next reading, which becomes the third reading. So third reading here is 12, therefore 12. Then IQR equals Q3, which is 20, minus 12, which becomes 8. The answer is 8. Question 14. Work out 6.7 into 10 to the power 135 plus 3 into 10 to the power 134. Give your answer in standard form. So remember, if you don't leave your answer in standard form, you'll lose 1 mark. Therefore, highlight it. So those who are trying to use the calculator for this one, they will get a syntax error. So you should know how to do this one manually for sure. Let's rewrite the question. 6.7 into 10 to the power 135 plus 3 into 10 to the power 134. When you are getting this type of question, check whether it is under addition, subtraction or multiplication, division. There are 2 ways. For addition, subtraction, 1 way, multiplication, division, 1 way. I'm explaining for addition, subtraction. So when we need to add these two with the very huge powers of 10 to the power or any number to the power, the method is factorizing method. So addition, subtraction, factorizing method. Okay, don't try to expand this one, putting 0, 0, 0, 0. You can't do it, right? So let's get the common power of 10 to the power here. I'm going to factorize 10 to the power. How much is common? In this one and in this one, in both the cases, can you see 100 and 34 is common, therefore I'm taking it out as a common factor. Now here 6.7 into 10 to the power of 1, since I'm taking out 134, plus 3 because full of 134 is taken out. 10 to the power of 134. Now let's simplify this one. 6.7 into 10, 67. 67 plus 3, 70. Then 10 to the power of 134 into 70. So 70, now you need to write your answer in standard form. Therefore, it is 7 into 10 to the power 135. I gotta get multiply by 110, right, to get here. Now, if I expand this one furthermore, 10 to the power of 134, I'm splitting this one in 7 into 10. Then this 10, when multiplying when you are having same bases, we add the power. That's how I'm getting 135 into 7. Then the answer becomes as 7 into 10 to the power of 135. Question 15, algebraic fractional equations. So let's rewrite the sum first before doing anything else. 5a plus 8 over 3 minus 2a plus 5 over 4 equals 23. Now, when we have to deal with this type of fractional equations, first in this side, let's cross multiply this one using this butterfly method, which means 4 times 5a plus 8, 3 times 2a plus 5. We multiply them as a cross multiplication and finally multiply these two as well, 3 into 4. So let's write it and show. I'm going to write 4 times 5a plus 8 minus 3 times 2a plus 5 over 12 equals 23. So let's expand the bracket. 4 times 5, 20a plus 32 minus 6a minus 15 over 12 equals 23. Now let's simplify. 20a minus 6a, 14a. 32 minus 15 plus 17 equals 23 into 12. We are cross multiplying here again. Then 14a plus 17 becomes 23 plus into 12. 23 into 12, 276. So finally we are getting in this way. Here we are getting 14a equals 276 minus 17. 217 minus 17 equals 259. Then 14a equals 259. Then a equals 259 divided by 14, which becomes 37 over 2, 18.5. So a equals 18.5. The answer is 18.5. Part B. Part B, express within brackets root y over 3 close the bracket to the power of minus 1 in the form of cy to the power of n, where c and n are numbers to be found. Let's make it positive first. So I'm making the I'm flipping the fraction, then the power will get positive. which is plus 1. So I got to write it in this format. So I have 3. I'm converting this y with a power. Remember this thing, whenever you have root something, yeah, you can convert it as a power half. Root, whenever you see root sign, it means half. Whenever you are having a number, tiny number here out of this third sign, it means 1 over 3. If you don't have any tiny number here, it means 2. If you are having any tiny number, then you have to bring that number to the denominator. That's how we convert it. Now this one, 3, I got to bring it to the numerator because cy, then I'm bringing it to the numerator. When I'm bringing it the numerator, the power gets negative. Then finally the answer is 3y minus half. Question 16, converting recurring decimals into fractions. So when we are getting this type of question, the very first step is equate this one into x. So I'm writing here x equals 0.612. This whole set recurs. The meaning of this one, 0.612, other than 6, this set repeats. It means 0.6121212, it gets repeats. So here next step is if this is equal equation 1, I need to get rid of this non-recurring part. So very first step is if you are getting non-recurring part, get rid of that one. To bring it forward, I need to bring it forward in front of decimal point. I have to multiply it by 10. So I'm bringing it, then whole equation to be multiplied by 10, then it becomes 10x. 10x equals 6.12. Now 6 came in front of the decimal point. Still, these two, they recur. So this is equation 2. Next part is when you are having a recurring set, you have to get rid of the recurring set. So one set, now it is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we are having this one. Once I multiply this one by 10, we are having 6.121212. Your next goal has to be bring just one set in front of this decimal point. So to get them just two digits, I want to bring them forward. To bring them forward just 2 digits, I got to multiply the second equation by 100. Then only it will jump that decimal point. So if it is one digit will jump. If it is 100, 2 digits will jump. Therefore, I need to multiply by 100. As much as you are getting that recurring digits, you have to input zeros here and then multiply. If it is 1 digit by 10, if you are getting 2 digits, then 100. If you are getting 3 digits, then 1000. Likewise, as much as you are getting recurrent decimals, you have to include zeros at the end of the number that you're going to multiply and multiply. So once we multiply this one by 100, I'm getting here 1000x. Then this will be, so these 2 decimal places will be forward, then 612.12 recurs again. This is equation 3. Then let's subtract equation 3 to be subtracted by equation 3, subtract equation 2. Then I'm getting 990x in this side. So here once we subtract 612.12 recurs and here 6.12 recurs. Can you see this recurring, they get cancelled out, becomes 0. Then here 2, when subtracting 12 minus 6, 6, 0, 606, this becomes. Then x equals 606 divided by 990. Let's see whether we are getting this one. Yes, I can divide this one by 3. Then it will be, I can divide this one by 6. Let's see whether we are getting this one. 606 over 990. Yes, we are getting it. So we have to divide both by 6. 101, 165. Question 17. Proof. Prove that for any three numbers which are consecutive multiples of 4, three numbers which are consecutive multiples of 4, the difference between the square of the largest number and the square of the smallest number is always a multiple of 64. Show clear algebraic work. We'll do it in this way. So whenever you should know what consecutive numbers are. Consecutive numbers are the numbers which follow each other continuously without skipping any other number. Now if I write numbers like this 1, 2, 3, 4, these are consecutive numbers. But if I write here, I haven't skipped any number here. If I write like this, let's say that I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 56, 92. These are not consecutive numbers. Can you see there is a gap? So to be consecutive numbers without skipping any other number, they should follow each other continuously. Right, now we know what consecutive numbers. So if I want to write consecutive numbers in general, this is the way how we write. First one number n, second number n plus 1, third one n plus 2. Since these are multiples of 4, I get to multiply by 4. Then this becomes 4n. This is 4 times n plus 1. This is 4 times n plus 2. These are the consecutive multiple of 4. These are the numbers which are consecutive and multiples of 4 as well. So let's simplify this one. 4n. This is 4n plus 4. 4n plus 8. Right? The difference between the square of the largest number. So the largest number is this one. Difference between the square of the largest number. So I get the difference, the square of this largest number and the square of the smallest number, which is this one. So we have to get the square of both of them and subtract. Let's simplify this one and I get to prove that the answer is always a multiple of 64. So 4n plus 8, 4n plus 8 times 4n plus 8. That's how 4n plus 8 squared. It is not 16n squared plus 64. 4n plus 8 squared means 4n plus 8 times 4n plus 8 minus this one, this squared to be applied to this one as well as to this one. Therefore, it is 4 into 4, 16n squared. Right, let's simplify this one. 4 into 4n, 16n squared. 4 into 8, 32n. 8 times 4n, again 32n. 8 times 8, 64. And here minus 16n squared. Now 16n squared minus 16n squared, they get cancelled out. Here 32n plus 32n, 64n. Here plus 64. Now can you see when I factorize this one? I'm factorizing, I'm taking out 64. It is n plus 1. So if you multiply anything by 64, it's a multiple of 64. Therefore, we proved this one as true statement. Question 18. F is inversely proportional to the cube of R. F is inversely proportional to the cube of R. F equals 6 when R equals 2. Find a formula. So we have to form a formula. When you are getting inversely proportional or directly proportional, you need to realize that you have to underline this thing. Inversely proportional. If it is inversely proportional, k over whatever the variable, in this case, cube of r. If it is direct proportion, k r cube. So this is direct, this is inverse. Depending on that, let's do this question. F is inversely proportional to the cube of r. Then I'm writing F equals inversely proportional to the cube of r. After that, F equals 6. So I'm substituting 6. Next goal is you're getting what k is. 2 cubed. R equals 2. Then k equals 6 into 2 cubed, which we get as 6 into 2 cubed. It is 48. So k equals 48. Now, we need to form the formula. So don't end up with this one. You have to write the full formula. So F equals k is 48, 48 over r cube. This is your formula. Part B, find the value of r when f equals 3072. We have formula now. F equals 48 over r cube. So we have the formula. Now we can write f is given as 3072. 3072 equals 48 r cube. Now we have to subject r. We can switch these positions. Don't multiply this one and this one. We have to switch them. So r cube goes here. Then 3072 comes here. Now I need to get what r is. I need to get rid of this r cubed. Whenever we need to get rid of r cube, I need to get the cube root of this one. If you are getting cube root of that side, I have to get cube root of this one as well. Then this one becomes r. Let's see what the answer comes when we are using the calculator. So cube root of 48 over 3072. The answer is 1 over 4. Then we can write 1 over 4 or 0.25. Question 19, probability. Kanika has 9 counters. There is a number on each counter. So there are 9 counters. Number on each counter. Kanika puts 9 counters in a bag. Let's assume they are already in a bag. Now there are 9 counters in a bag. From that bag, she takes at random a counter from the bag and does not replace the counter. Once she takes it, she doesn't replace it. She then takes at random a second counter from the bag. So second counter also, she's going to pick the second counter. Work out the probability that the sum of the numbers on the 2 counters is less than 5. We're going to get the probability once she picks 2 counters. The sum, the addition of those 2 counters should be less than 5. That's the goal. Now this is the story. She is picking 1 counter and she is picking another counter without replacing. Once she sees those 2 counters, the addition of those 2 counters, the numbers that she is getting, and when she add them, the addition should be less than 5. Right? Let's see. Now you have to figure out how many such possibilities among these 9 counters. There would be several outcomes. If I ask you like this, what's the probability of picking 1? So the probability of picking 1 is 2 over 9. And if I'm taking again without replacing, then for the second take, the probability of 1 would be 1 over 8 because 1 is taken already. Then there is only 1. Then 1 over 8 because total becomes 8. Right. Then the probability for that becomes 2 over 78. 9 into 8, 78. Then from this one, I can make a very clear observation that there are 78 observations. Now there are 78 observations. That observation, the total observation, these 78 outcomes. So these 78 outcomes can be applied for this experiment as well. Then very clear observation from that part is there are 78 possible outcomes in total. So total outcomes equals 78. Right. Let's focus on the question now. Now you have to figure out how many possible outcomes there are there getting less than, the sum should be less than 5. So if I go in this way, if I'm considering 1 first, 1, 1, one possible outcome, 1, 1. This other one, now if I go in this way, this is first, then this is second. And there's another way. This is first, this is second. So there are two ways, 1, 1. Then outcomes would be, there are two such outcomes because 1 plus 1, 2, which is less than 5. 1 plus 1, 2, which is less than 5. I'm done with these two ones. Let's move on to 1, 2. So there is this way, 1, 2. And I'm writing 1, comma 2. And there's another way, this 1, 2 as well. Then we have such two outcomes. Right. Let's move on to 1, 3. So I can go in this way. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So there are three outcomes with this one. Then I'm getting 1, comma 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. The other one is 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So there are another three outcomes with the other one. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Total, there are 6 outcomes. Next one, we are done with this one. Then we can't go with 2, 3 because it is 5. We gotta get less than 5. There is only one possible other way as well. Let's go to that one. This 3. 3, 1, 3, 1. So I can write 3, 1, 3, comma 1. I'm done with this 3. Then let's go with this 3. 3, 1, 3, 1. I'm done with that 3 as well. 3, comma 1, 3, comma 1. And there's another way that I can go with this one. 3, 1, 3, 1. I'm done with that 3 as well. 3, 1, 3, 1. So how many total outcomes with 3 then? There are 6 total 6 outcomes with 3. So here we are getting 6. So if I write the total outcomes, 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 6, 16. So did we miss out anything here? Yes, we did. We didn't include 2, 1, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1. So there is one possible way, 2, comma 1, 2, comma 1, another 2. So altogether, there are 18 possible outcomes. Now we have to exclude this. You can't add anything with 5 because it is, then we are getting greater than 5. You can't add with anything with 6. You can't add anything with this 6. Then total outcomes are, so total possible outcomes are 18 and the total outcomes are 78. Then the probability comes in this way. Question 20, the 3D trigonometry. This question, the diagram shows cuboid ABCDEFGH. AB equals 9 centimeters, AF equals 7 centimeters, FC equals 18 centimeters. Calculate the length of BC. We have to get this length BC. Give your answer correct to third significant figure. So think like this. To get BC, what do you need? This is 3D trigonometry. Therefore, identify a 90-degree triangle where BC lies. So, this is a cuboid. The base of the cuboid is always a rectangle. So, in this rectangle, this is a rectangle. If I shade it, it is something like this. Here, this base. This is a rectangle. Diagonal like this. Can you see? Now I know that this angle is 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Then if it is 90 degree, if this is 90 degree, I have a 90 degree triangle here. So if I can get this side, I can get this side. So how do I get this side? For that, we've been given information that FC equals 18 centimeter. FC, this one is 18 centimeter. This one is 7 centimeter. This is the thing that we need to get. How do we get it? So I know that this is 3D. So you have to view it 3D. This angle is also 90 degree. So let's draw this triangle first, which is AFC, and get the side AC first. So I'm going to draw a 90 degree triangle here. And let's label it as F A C. So this length is 7 centimeters. AFC is given as 18 centimeter. So this is 90 degree. This is 90. This is the base. To the base, a vertical line is, for any base, if you are having a vertical line, it is always 90 degree. So I need to get AC when two sides are given and this is 90 degree triangle. I can apply Pythagorean theorem. Then AC equals, if you are not getting hypotenuse, it is always subtraction. If you are getting the hypotenuse, it is addition. 18 squared minus 7 squared, the root of this one. So this is not the hypotenuse. Therefore, I am writing here negative. So let's get the calculator and get the value of this one. Root of 18 squared minus 7 squared equals 5 root 11, which is 16.5831. 16.5831. It's all okay to go ahead with the surds as well. So we have this one now. Now it is very easy to get BC because I have this length which is 16. If I draw that triangle again, let's label that one A, B, C. So we have AB which is 9 centimeters. We have AC, we got it as 16.5831. Now again this is not the hypotenuse. So we have to subtract. So BC equals 16.5831 squared minus 9 squared. You have to get the root of it. Then it would be 5 root 11. So I am taking it 5 root 11 equal 5 root squared minus 9 squared. This root 194, which becomes 13.9. So the answer is for this one 13.9. Question 21, graph transformation. The curve with equation y equals f of x has one turning point. Y equals f of x is the original curve. It has only one turning point. The coordinates of the turning point are minus 6, 9. Write down the coordinates of the turning point on the curve with the equation y equals f of 3x. Now we got to understand what the transformation here is. When we see, now earlier it was y equals f of x. It's been transformed to y equals f of 3x. Now, can you see here the inside bracket? It is x, but when the transformation's been applied, it becomes 3x. So inside bracket, there's a change. When inside bracket something happens, always x coordinate gets changed. So x coordinate gets changed here. This is 3 times x. When we notice a multiplication inside brackets, when you see multiplication inside brackets, it means x coordinate gets changed, but the scale factor becomes, if it is multiplication, you have to divide it, it becomes 1 over 3. For inside brackets, for the x coordinate gets changed, inside bracket, we always apply opposite things. If it is multiplication, you have to apply division. If it is subtraction, you have to do addition. So x coordinate, we in transformations, we always apply opposite. So here now the in the coordinate minus comma 9. So this one, I know that's minus 6 to be divided by 3 comma 9. Then your coordinate would be minus 2 comma 9. Part B, the curve C with the equation y equals g of x is transformed to give the curve S with equation y equals g times x plus a plus b. The point 4 comma minus 5 on C map to the point 1 comma minus 16 on S. Write down the value of a and b. Now this is the thing. Originally, it was like this, g of x. When the transformation was applied, it became g of x plus a plus b. Right. Now, earlier, the point was 4 comma minus 5. Then, what is happening to it here? 1 comma minus 16. Right. Now this is out of bracket, then this is addition. Then whenever you are figuring out something out of bracket and addition, you have to apply as it is for the y coordinate. So it was minus 5. Once you add b to it, it becomes minus 16. Therefore, b becomes minus 16 plus 5, which becomes minus 11. That's how. This is translation. The curve gets shifted upwards because this is plus, the curve gets shifted downwards because b is negative. So to figure it out, we know that for the translation, we apply the translation, whatever you are getting as it is for the y coordinate. So b equals minus 11. What about x? X is here addition, x plus a. Therefore, you have to subtract this much from the original coordinate. So it is 4. Once I subtract a from it, it becomes 1. Then a equals 3. Question 22. Simultaneous equations, one with linear, one with non-linear. How do we solve this one? First step, no matter what it is, you gotta label the two equations. So let's label the two equations 1 and 2. Equation 1, equation 2. After that, you have to go to the equation where there are no powers for the letters. Now, the second equation, can you see it is linear, therefore no powers other than 1. So I'm picking that equation and subject one letter. In this case, I'm going to subject y here. Then y equals 3 minus 2x. I'm labeling this one as third equation. So why did I subject y rather than x? Because if you try to subject x, in this case here 2x equals 3 minus, here I'll write it over here, 2x equals 3 minus y, then x equals 3 minus y over 2. Then you have to deal with fractions, which is a bit complicated. Therefore, try to subject always individual one without connecting with any numbers. Now, in this case, y is single. Can you see it is single? So, right, just subject that one. After that, once we subject it, we substitute the equation 3 into equation 1, which is what we subjected here. You get to write, substitute this equation into this one. So, let's write this way. Equation 3, substitute into equation 1. The meaning of this one is your equation is this one. I'm rewriting equation x squared plus y squared equals 41. So wherever I'm getting y, I get to replace with this one. We do not write y. We are trying to get an equation in terms of x only. Then only I can solve it. Whenever we are getting an equation in terms of x and y both, we can solve if you are having only one equation. You have to have two equations. Therefore, I'm going to get rid of y here and getting the equation back with x terms only. So x squared, instead of y, I'm going to write 3 minus 2x. 3 minus 2x. Now this is squared. Because this is in squared form, equals 41. I know that x squared plus, this one never write 9 minus 4x squared. 3 minus 2x times 3 minus 2x equals 41. Then let's simplify. X squared, 3 into 3, 9. 3 into minus 2x minus 6x. Here 3 minus 2x into 3 minus 6x. Minus 2x into minus 2x plus 4x squared equals 41. Let's write the like terms close together. X squared plus 4x squared minus 6x here minus 12x. 6x minus 12x. After that, plus 9 minus 41 equals 0. X squared plus 4x squared, 5x squared minus 12x. 9 minus 41, we are getting minus 32 equals 0. So our equation is 5x squared minus 12x minus 32. I'm using calculator to get the factors. Then mod 5, 3, 5 equals minus 12 equals minus 32 equals. So calculator gives me x equals 4, x equals minus 8 over 5. Calculator, I'm writing the answers of the calculator. X equals 4, x equals minus 8 over 5. So you get a convert these answers into factors first. Once the calculator gives the answers, now let's convert them into factors. I have to reverse the sign. X minus 4. After that, when you are getting this way, a fraction, this 5 to be written in front of x, which becomes 5x. The denominator to be cross multiplied, 5x. Minus to be converted into positive, then 8. So I've got what x values are. For each and every x value, I need to get what y is. Therefore, let's start off with that y equation. So I know that y equals 3 minus 2x. Then y equals 3 minus 2 into 4, which becomes y equals 3 minus 8, y equals minus 5. Here, y equals 3 minus 2x, then 3 minus 2, x equals minus 8 over 5. So once we simplify it, we are getting y equals 31 over 5. Then you have to finalize your answers in this way. X equals minus 8 over 5, y equals 31 over 5. The other one is x equals 4, y equals minus 5. This is the final answer. Question 23, intersecting chord theorems. When we have a circle like this, let's say that we have two intersecting chords like this. Now they intersect at this point. When we have two chords like that, let's label this much is A, B. This length is A, this length is B, this length is C, this length is D. Then the intersecting chord theorem says A into B. Remember, in the same chord, okay? A into B is equal to C into D. This is the intersecting chord theorem formula. So here the question says PTR and QTS are chords of a circle. PT equals 3y minus 5 centimeters, QT equals y plus 3 centimeters, RT equals 4x centimeters, ST equals x plus 2 centimeters. Find an expression for y in terms of x. So we have to get an expression in terms of x. Find an expression for y, which means you need to subject y. Find an expression for y means you have to get y equals something. So let's see how to do this question. I know that these two chords are intersecting, then I can apply the intersecting chord theorem. So y plus 3 times x plus 2 equals 3y minus 5, 3y minus 5 times 4x. Right, now I got a subject what y is. So I'm going to write the y's. So let's multiply out the brackets. Yx plus 2y plus 3x plus 6 equals, now I'm multiplying these two, then 3 into 4, 12, 12xy minus 4 into 5, 20, 20x. Since I need to subject y, let's collect all the y's to one side. So here I have yx plus 2y I'm sending this 12xy also to this side. Minus 12xy. That's it. I'm sending the rest to the other side. So minus 20x minus 3x minus 6. Let's simplify, check out whether there are any possibility to simplify. Here I can take y out from here. Then x plus 2 minus 12x equals minus 23x minus 6. So here I can simplify furthermore. Minus 12x x 2 minus 11x equals minus 23x minus 6. Then I need to subject whenever we are unable to add or subtract the letter that we want to subject, the method is factorize. So you need to take out the letter from the expression where you are unable to factorize. So let's subject now y. I need to divide both sides by this one. I'm sending this thing to the other side. Then minus 23x minus 6 over 2 minus 11x. Question 24, sequences. The first three terms of an arithmetic series are 2x plus 5, 3y minus 4, 4x minus 2. The first three terms. Where x and y are constant, the sum of the first 9 terms of the series is 216. Find the value of x and the value of y. When you are getting a question under sequences, you have to identify this thing first. The very first thing is, if you notice the word term, the equation that you have to go ahead with term is Tn, which is a plus n minus 1 times d. If you see the term sum, then you have to go ahead with Sn equation, which you are getting with the formula sheet. N over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Right. Now let's focus on this one. There is another important thing in this question. The terms are with x's and y's. Whenever you are getting a question with unknown letters, the very first thing is you have to get D using two ways. So the first way, second term, which is 3y minus 4 minus 2x plus 5. Then I can simplify this one. 3y minus 4 minus 2x minus 5. Then let's simplify 3y minus 2x minus 4 minus 5 minus 9. So this is one common difference. Get the common difference again using another two terms. So this time I use 3y minus 4 second term minus first term. Let's use third term minus second term, which is 4x minus 2 minus 3y minus 4. Let's simplify this one. 4x minus 2 minus 3y minus minus plus 4. Then I'm getting the 4x minus 4x minus 3y minus 2 plus 4 plus 2. So I have 2d's now. Let's equate these two. When we equate this one, 3y minus 2x minus 9, 3y minus 2x minus 9, and I'm having another d, 4x minus 3y plus 2. Let's equate these two. Right. Now I'm going to create an equation in terms of x and y. Then I can use that one to find what x and y. Let's simplify this one to get x and in terms of x and y. So I'm collecting all the x's and y's to one side. So here 3y 3y plus 3y minus 2x minus 4x. Here 2, I'm sending this 9 to this side, then plus 9. 3y plus 3y 6y minus 2x minus 4x minus 6x equals 11. So this is the first equation that I formed. Now we have given something else in this question. What is it? You've been given the sum of the first 9 terms of the series is 216. So then I can write S9 equals 216. So let's form an equation for this as well. Sn equals n over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So Sn, we've been given 216. N is given 9 over 2 2a. Now I have to get what a is. A is this is the first term 2x plus 5. So 2 times 2x plus 5. 2 times 2x plus 5. This is a plus n, which is 9. 9 minus 1 times d. Now we got what d is. You can find any d out of this one. I'm using this one. 3y minus 2x minus 9. So let's pick that one. 3y minus 2x minus 9. Right. Let's simplify this one. 216 9 over 2. Here I'm getting 4x plus 10. Here 8 times 3y minus 2x minus 9. 216 9 over 2. 4x plus 10 plus 24y minus 16x minus 72. So 216 equals 9 over 2, 4x minus 16x minus 12x, 24y (72) minus 72 plus 10 minus 62. 216 equals 9. Now I'm dividing the whole equation by 2 because I'm having 2 here. Then I'm getting minus 6x plus 12y minus 31. I'm sending this 9 to this side. 216 over 9 equals minus 6x plus 12y minus 31. So use the calculator and get the answer. 216 to be divided by 9. Then I'm getting 24. 24. And I'm sending this 31 also to this side. 31 equals minus 6x plus 12y. Then let's use the 24 plus 31. We are getting 55. So I'm getting another equation minus 6x plus 12y equals 55. This is my second equation. Then let's bring those equations and solve them simultaneously. We have two equations now. So I'm bringing them here. The first equation, 6y minus 6x equals 11. Equation 1. The second equation is minus 6x plus 12y equals 55. This is second equation. So let's write this one in the other way around. Let's write it in this way. Minus 6x plus 6y. Minus 6x plus 6y equals 11. Minus 6x plus 12y equals 55. Then I'm subtracting the two equation, 2 minus 1. Before that, I want you to take out the calculator and use mod 5, 1 and check out your answer. So minus 6 equals plus 6 equals 11 equals minus 6 equals 12 equals 55 equals. So I know that x has to be 11 over 2 and y has to be 22 over 3. X has to be 11 over 2 and y has to be 22 over 3. Right, I have two answers. Let's see whether we are getting this one. Since you are getting here same answer, same sign, when you are getting same sign, we subtract. So from second equation, subtract first equation. Then let's write the stuff in the second equation. Minus 6x plus 12y minus first equation. Minus 6x plus 6y equals 55 minus 11. Let's remove the bracket. Minus 6x plus 12y minus plus 6x minus 6y equals 44. Now you should know why we subtracted. Can you see minus becomes plus and now two different sign, 6x minus 6x, they cancel out. So 12y minus 6y equals 44. Then y equals 44 over 6, which becomes 22 over 3. So let's substitute y equals 22 over 3 into the other equation. So our answer is correct here. Let's substitute into the other first equation. Minus 6x plus 6. Y is 22 over 3. 6y equals 11. So I'm going to substitute this thing. Here I'm substituting here. Substituting this y value into the equation of 1, first equation. So minus 6x equals 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 6. Then 11, this is 2 into 22 minus 44. Then minus 6x equals minus 33. Then x equals 33 over 6, which becomes 3 times 11, 2. So our answers are correct. Question 25, sectors. BAC is a sector of a circle, center A. This is a sector. BCD is a sector of a circle, center C. This is also sector. Angle BAC equals 40 degrees. This is 40. Angle BCD is 130 degrees. 130 degrees. And the shaded area is 28 square centimeter. The area of this one is given as 28 square centimeter. So we need to find the length of the arc BD. Let's shade it and keep. This is the arc that we need to get. Right, we have to get that arc. How do we get arc length? So I know that arc. Now if I get a circle and if I cut out this part, this one is called sector. This is minor sector and this is major sector. Okay. So this one has to be the center. This one has to be the center. Then I have major sector, minor sector. So can you see if I get this part, arc length, it is one part of the full circumference, right? This arc length. If I want to get this arc length, it is one part of the full circumference. Therefore, remember it in this way. If you want to get the arc length, it is part of the circumference. How to get the circumference? Circumference equals 2 pi r. Then 2 pi r into, since this is part of the circle, theta over 360. So theta is this one. After that, let's see now if I have this theta. 2 pi. Now I need to get r. What is r? This one is r. Then I need to get this side. This side is equal to this side because this is a sector and this part has to be the radius. Then this is also the radius of the same sector. Right. Then how do we get this one? Now just move on to this one. We don't have enough detail. Get straight away this r. Let's get this one as R. We don't have details to get R. So therefore, we've been given here the shaded region. Let's focus on this one. Then if I can get this one, this side, let's get this one as capital R. This is also then capital R because this is also a sector. These two sides should be equal to each other. If I have this one and this one, and since I have this one, straight away I can get this side using cos rule. Right, now my goal is to get this side. How do I get? For getting that one, we've been given that area of the shaded region. How do I get the area of the shaded region? Area of the sector minus area of the triangle. So let's start off with that part. Let's use this hint. We've been given here hint. Let's use this hint here, area of the shaded segment. So I'm using this hint to form an equation. Equals area of the shaded segment equals sector ABC, area of the sector ABC minus triangle ABC, area of triangle ABC. So shaded segment, area of the shaded segment, it is 28. Sector area, theta, which is 40. Let's write the formula first. Theta over 360 pi r squared minus half AB sine C. 28, theta we know that it is 40. It is 40 over 360 pi r capital R squared minus half r into r, which is r squared sine 40. So 28, once I cancel this one, 1 over 9 pi r squared minus half r squared sine 40. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna factorize r squared from this one. Then r squared taking out of bracket pi over 9 minus sine 40 over 2. Here 28. Then r squared 28 over pi over 9 minus sine 40 over 2. Let's get what r is first. So I get to get the root of this one to get r, then root of this one as well. So let's use the calculator and get it. Root of 28 over pi over 9 minus sine 40 over 2. Let's apply bracket for this one. Right. Equals, it is 31.8096. So we are getting it as 31.8906. 8096. Right. Now we have R. We got this one now. 31.8096. Right. Now considering this one, this triangle, I can apply cos rule to get BC. So let's get BC. BC equals R squared plus R squared minus 2R into R cos 40, root of this one. So let's get it 31.8096 squared plus 31.8096 squared minus 2 into 31.8096 into 31.8096 into cos 40. So let's get the calculator and get what this is. Let's plug in the values. Root of 31.8096 squared plus 31.8096 squared minus 2 into 31.8096 squared into cos 40. So we are getting the distance 21.7590. 21.7590. Right now we have the radius of this sector here. This BC is the radius of this BD sector BDC. Then straight away we can get the arc length BD. BD equals theta is 130 degrees over 360 into 2 pi r. Here 130 over 360 2 into pi into r, we got 21.7590. So let's use the calculator again and get it. 130 into 2 into pi into 21.7590 over 360. 49.36. 49.36. Therefore, final answer to the third significant figure 49.4.
Question 26, last question of this paper. Let's see how to do this one. It is under similar figures. R, S and T are similar bases. These three are similar bases. When you are getting similar figures, it's so important that you get to know three equations. Let's discuss them. Let's see the question first. The volume of vase S is 72.8% more than the volume of vase R. The height of vase R is h centimeter. The height of vase T is 6h centimeters. The surface area of vase S is a squared centimeter. The surface area of vase T is ka squared centimeter. Work out the volume of K. So let's see how to do this question. Whenever you are getting similar figures, check out whether you can remember these three equations. So first one, for length. When we have to deal with length ratio, we should know that L1 over L2 equals K. K means the scale factor. It is the general term for the scale factor, not this K. It is the K of any scale factor, conventional one. Next one, whenever we have to deal with area, similar figures, areas. So A1 over A2 equals K squared. Then for the volume, V1 over V2 equals V cube, K cube. V1 over V2 equals K cube. Right. So you should know how to go from this scale factor to this one, from this scale factor to this one. So you should be able to go from one scale factor to the other, area to volume, volume to length likewise. We can straight away come, being in area, we can't straight away come to the volume. Always you have to get the length ratio first, this linear scale factor first. So you have to square root this one, then you are getting it K, then straight away come to this one, make it K cube. So always, whatever the scale factor, check out whether you are having the linear one first. Linear one or the length ratio, if you are having that scale factor, you can find anything. So that is all about the three equations that you got to deal with. Let's move on to the question. The question says that the volume of vase S is 72.8% more than the volume of vase R. Wherever you get is, am, are in mathematics, you have to interpret those B words with equal sign. Now in this case, I am getting here the volume of vase S is, can you see here is, this is should be interpreted with equal sign. So let's write it in this way, the vase S is to be converted with equal sign. What is happening there? 72.8%, 72.8% more than to be interpreted with plus, more than the volume of vase R. So the volume of vase R, originally we assume we get it as 1, then 1 plus 72.8% equals Vs. So times VR. Then I know that my goal is getting the scale factor. Wherever you get this similar figure questions, please try to get the scale factor. So let's get the scale factor for Vs over VR. Then it becomes 1.1.7 728. Once we add these two, you can use the calculator and check. When we add these two, 72.8% plus 1 equals 1.728. So therefore Vs over Vr equals 1.728. Now I have one scale factor. Let's call this one as K. This is S to R, SR cube, because this is volume scale factor. Right, let's move on to the next hint. The height of R is h centimeters. The height of R is h centimeters. So if I get this one, it is h centimeters. This is h, and this one 6h. So we have two measurements of the heights. This is h, this is 6h. So let's move from this way, T to R. So I'm going to move from T to R. Therefore, let's write the scale factor for T to R in this way. I'm going to write this way. Volume of, length of T over length of R equals, this is T, equals 6h over h. Then h cancel out, it would be 6. What's the meaning of length ratio? Come here and check here. Length ratio means just the linear scale factor. Then I can write K TR, from T to R, it becomes 6. So we have now another scale factor. I want to deal with the volume. Therefore, I'm converting this one into volume scale factor. So VT over VR becomes 6 cubed, which is 216. Right, I have this one now, Vs over Vr, I have Vt over Vr. Let's keep them apart. Now, I'm keeping them aside and moving on to the next hint. The surface area of vase S is A squared centimeter. The surface area of vase T is Ka squared centimeter. Let's write the ratio for the area as well to get the area scale factor. So I'm going to write it in this way. AT over AS. This is area scale factor. We can straight away write this one since area is given. AT is KA over just A. Then AA cancel out. AT over AS becomes K. So don't get confused with this K and this K. This is the scale factor of volume. This is also the scale factor of the volume. This is the scale factor of the area. So let's write this one now, AT over AS. If I can get the scale factor AT, area scale factor of vase T to vase S, I'm done. Then that is equal to K. So how do we get the scale factor of area T to S? So I'm going to do something like this. Here I'm subjecting VR. I'm having Vs over VR here. Therefore, I'm getting what VR out of here. From this first equation, I can get VR equals from this one 1.78728. No. VR equals Vs over 1.728. And from this one also, I'm getting VR equals, from this one, VR equals Vt over 216. Since both are VRs, I'm going to equate them together. So let's equate them together. Then I'm getting Vs over 1.728 equals Vt over 216. So now you can see that I'm going to get the scale factor as this is. T over S. That's my goal. Then I can bring it here. So I'm going to get this one as Vt over Vs. So I'm writing Vt over Vs equals, I'm keeping Vt, I'm bringing Vs here, then 216 is shifted here. 216 over 1.728. Now this is volume scale factor. We need to get the area scale factor. To get this one, we gotta get what the linear scale factor first. So let's get, this is equals k t to s cube. Let's see what this is. This is also k t to s, right? Same thing. So this is just k. I want to get what the linear one out of this one. So let's use the calculator and figure out what the value for this one is. 216 divided by 1.728. It is 125. 125. Then I can get the length ratio or the linear scale factor, which is k t to s. Then to get k t to s, getting k t to s equals, I gotta get the cube root of this one. Cube root of 125 equals 5. Right, now I need to get the area scale factor. Therefore, a t over as becomes, let's square this one, 5 squared, which becomes 25. Then this one should be equal to k, therefore k equals 25.